Hey, it's Kuro here. Let's dive straight into the real talk. A heads up, some of these games were tested on an older version of Yuzu, so newer versions might bring a little more performance. Now here's the setup I used. Xiaomi Pad 5 with a Snapdragon 860, 6GB RAM, 120GB storage, and an Adreno 640 GPU. No root. Alright, let's jump into it. 1. Pokemon Legends Arceus, mostly hitting 30 FPS, making the game smooth and stable for exploring the open world without major slowdowns. 2. Cuphead runs flawlessly and even better than the Switch version, thanks to no frame rate cap. You'll get that responsive feel for Cuphead's tricky platforming. 3. Monster Hunter Generations, almost a perfect 30 FPS with only minor dips in action-heavy moments. In some areas, it even outperforms the Switch's capped FPS. 4. Melatonin, full FPS, delivering a fluid experience for all gameplay sections without hiccups. 5. Pokemon Sword and Shield, playable but inconsistent. Some areas get full FPS, while others slow down depending on the complexity of the scene. Still, it's manageable for casual play. 6. Untitled Goose Game. Smooth overall with only slight drops, so you can enjoy causing chaos as the mischievous goose without too many interruptions. 7. Pikmin 2. Consistent FPS, just like the Switch, with no major performance issues. 8. Hollow Knight. Solid 60 FPS, allowing for smooth exploration and responsive combat, making it ideal for an intense platformer like this. 9. Animal Crossing. Typically between 23 to 30 FPS. I only tested the start, so it's hard to say how it handles a fully developed village, but early gameplay is solid. 10. Celeste. A full 60 FPS experience, which is essential for its precise platforming. It feels perfectly optimized here. 11. No Place Like Home. Unstable with crashes, but if you're willing to power through, it's playable in bursts. 12. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Generally 20-30 FPS. There's a mild neon glitch that pops up, but it doesn't ruin the experience. 13. Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles. Runs almost perfectly in versus mode, with smooth FPS for multiplayer, but the story mode doesn't hit playable performance levels. Number 14. Hunter x Hunter. Runs flawlessly, making it perfect for fans looking to enjoy this on the go. 15. Super Mario Bowser's Fury. Buttery smooth 30 FPS, allowing for a seamless experience throughout. 16. Dark Souls. Great performance, however the Light Fix mod is mandatory for it to run smoothly. With the mod, gameplay is stable and perfect for those intense battles. 17. Super Mario 3D World. Consistent 60 FPS, providing smooth, responsive controls for all stages. 18. Ninja Gaiden. Perfect 60 FPS, letting you dive into the action without a hitch. 19. Burnout Paradise. Runs at 25 to 30 FPS, with occasional drops in densely populated areas or during high-speed chases. 20. Catherine Full Body. 23 to 30 FPS. Since it's more of a puzzle game, the slower frame rate doesn't affect gameplay as much. 21. Katamari Damacy rerol. Playable, but prone to crashes. FPS also varies with the level design, so expect occasional dips in busier areas. 22. Ninja Gaiden 2. Between 40 to 60 FPS, providing a very playable experience with only a few dips. 23. Prince of Persia. Usually between 40 to 60 FPS, though it occasionally drops below 40 in action-heavy scenes. 24. Payday. Consistently full FPS, letting you enjoy the heist gameplay with no slowdowns. 25, Star Wars Force Unleashed, holds a strong 60 FPS, making for an epic and smooth Jedi experience. "26, Kizuna Ai Touch the Beat, playable with the occasional crash, but performance remains good at nearly full FPS. 27, After the Sunset, typically 20 to 30 FPS, though the game feels a bit unstable. You'll notice it if you test it yourself. 28, Samurai Showdown, playable overall with some locations, like the dojo, hitting full FPS. 29, Bloodrayne Betrayal, consistent 60 FPS. Smooth performance throughout, though I'll admit I'm not the best at it. 30, Kitaria Fables, runs at about 25 to 30 FPS, providing a playable experience despite some slowdowns. 31, Assassin's Creed Liberation, the most playable of the Assassin's Creed series on Switch emulation. I've got a detailed performance review of the whole series, so check that out after this video. 32, Hades. Runs between 23 to 30 FPS, which is playable, but might feel a bit sluggish compared to a native console. 33, Persona 3 Portable. Smooth 60 FPS for a seamless experience. Here's hoping Persona 5 becomes just as playable. 34, Super Smash Bros. Good FPS in some locations with 2 players, though other areas have serious drops, especially with more players. 35, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Perfect performance with full FPS throughout. 36, Cyberpunk Bomb Rush, playable with 40 to 60 FPS, though performance fluctuates in busier scenes. 37, Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy 1, playable with some periodic FPS drops, especially in more complex levels. 38, The Long Dark, playable but frequent FPS drops. It's still doable if you can manage through the dips. 39, Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy 2, similar to Part 1, with nearly identical performance. 40, Dragon Ball FighterZ, playable, though FPS dips occur in high-action sequences. 41, Summer in Mara, runs with almost full FPS, though occasional freezing interrupts gameplay. 42, Metroid Dread, playable, though it faces freeze issues. I got through some cutscenes after retrying, but it's still unstable. 43, Little Nightmares 2, similar freeze issues as Metroid Dread, though the game remains playable in most parts. 44, Resident Evil Revelations, nearly full FPS with occasional drops, so it's solid but not flawless. 45, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, perfect FPS providing a smooth, enjoyable experience. 46, Resident Evil 5, about 20 to 30 FPS, playable in early levels, though later stages may challenge the setup. 47, Resident Evil Remastered, perfect FPS for smooth gameplay throughout. 48, Resident Evil 0, similar performance as Remastered, with full FPS. 49, Bayonetta, playable, though Bayonetta 2 and 3 are much choppier and harder to run smoothly. '50. Double Dragon runs at full FPS, delivering a smooth retro experience. And that's the list. 50 playable games on the Snapdragon 860 with Yuzu. I'll upload part 2 with another 50 games in the next video. And after that, I'll upload a very detailed video on Switch emulation. If you want to see longer gameplay tests, you can check out the Playable SD860 playlist on my channel, which I'll pin in the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other games or emulators you're curious about. For everything you need to know about the Winlator Windows emulator, watch this video, or if you're looking for the best 3DS emulator, I've got a video for that too. And yeah, this is Kuro, signing off.